Welcome to Stitch and Stuff. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kim.
And we're so glad to be joining you today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. It's been almost a month since we've been able to record, which is the longest I think we've ever gone since starting.
I think so. I think that is the longest.
Yeah, I've missed it. I felt a little aimless with my stitching. I have been still working on stuff, but I just, I don't know.
I haven't felt aimless because I haven't stitched hardly at all.
Yeah, well, aimless isn't quite the right word. Oh, I forgot to grab my knitting. Well, when Millie comes back in, I'll show because I have a finish from that as well that I've been working on for a long time.
Yeah.
And a new start. So I'll have to grab those.
Okay.
Either I'll go get them or Millie will get them for me.
Okay.
If you're new here, we are a mother and daughter Flosstube channel, and we're both currently in Washington State. That's going to change, but so that's why we're on Zoom, because we're not in the same town. We're a couple hours apart right now.
And I have granddaughters. Your daughters join us too.
Girls often pop in. Millie has some knitting to share. Nobody's been cross stitching very much. I probably need to have a better system. I kind of organize their stuff with them a little bit into project bags, but I think that the basket it's in is kind of unwieldy. So I think I need to figure out a different place to store them so they can grab them easier without having to dig and then clean it all back up, like that.
Yeah.
They're not easy to grab. So maybe somebody will.
This is like the first time Millie's kind of had
slow down.
Yeah, she's usually been your little cross-stitch motor.
I wouldn't say she's even been knitting all that much, but I do think she's got this blanket that she's been working on for a long time, and I think she's kind of feeling like she's getting close to finishing that. So
okay.
So her knitting is I think we've just been outside a lot. The weather here in Washington has been really lovely for us, pretty much the last, well, not a whole month, probably 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, where you are too. And then yours turned cold, you said.
Yeah. So part of the reason why we haven't recorded was I was on a 2-week vacation it was a vacation. That's all it was, I was sick most of it.
Yeah.
But when we left here the last day, we flew out midnight, like April 30th or May 1st, that Sunday night, midnight. And it was barely getting into the 60s here. And I kind of just ignored the weather while we were in Indianapolis. I just ignored Kent's weather. And then I pulled it up a couple days before we flew home. And I was like, holy mackerel. It was looking like we were going to get to 90 one day, the week we got back. And so it had pretty much all last week stayed in the mid to high 80s in the beginning of the week. And then it got down to the low 80s. And now we barely got to 70 today. And there is not a speck of sunshine.
I'm sorry, but the reflection or the shadow of your lamp looks like a giant eyeball behind you. Can you see what
it does? Oh, do I need to move it?
No, I think it's fine. It's obviously just the shadow of a lamp. It just suddenly struck me like, what is that eye staring at her?
Oh, that is weird. Oh, sorry.
So weird.
So we flew in. We flew in because my daughter-in-law was graduating from nursing school. So we went to her. Our original intent was to go to her pinning ceremony, and then we stayed longer. We stayed another whole week. And her family was in and out, and then we had other kids that came in and out. And anyway, but I tell you, we flew in, and I think by Tuesday night, I thought, I'm getting a cold. I flew first time since COVID. I flew, and and then within a day, my husband had the cold, and we were pretty snotty. Thursday night was the pinning ceremony, and we were pretty hopped up on cold meds. Let me just put it that way. And so, but then I think by Saturday night, Sunday, we were feeling better. We turned the corner. That good. We got another whole week of vacation. This will be great. And then Tuesday afternoon of the second week, we were at the zoo. And I'm walking around the zoo and I'm like, why is my throat feeling scratchy?
Aww.
I shouldn't have a scratchy throat. I'm over this cold. And I woke up Wednesday morning my throat hurt so bad. It was so swollen feeling. And I was like, what the heck do I have now? And I just, oh, it was awful. But we were meeting a realtor. And so we had to get up and go to breakfast. And I'm at this little cafe and I can barely swallow my French toast. I mean, I barely ate anything because it hurt so bad to swallow. So I'm taking Advil and sucking on Ricolas. And we drove around that day for a long time, looking at different neighborhoods and different cities. And the whole day, it just got worse and worse. And a few times I would cough and I would kind of gag because of the swollen feeling.
Oh.
Dad's like, you're scaring me. I'm like, well, this hurts. Then finally we stopped like in the late afternoon and got a Starbucks. I got like a cold, like pineapple refresher that I love those, and a piece of lemon loaf, and it was soft enough. And then we went back. We went back to our kids that came in from Seattle had an Airbnb. We went to Costco and brought like a chicken and some other stuff for dinner. And we were standing there in the kitchen, and I'm all of a sudden I'm like to my husband, I said, we got to go. We got to leave right now. And Penny was there and Cash was there, and I didn't want to be near them because of the sore throat. And I said, I'm going to throw up. I'm sick to my stomach. And so we got into he grabbed a grocery bag, and I literally got in the car with the door open and just leaned out the car and threw up.
Oh.
And I'm like, I haven't thrown up since pre-COVID. I haven't thrown up, and just felt miserable. Well, we got back to the apartment we were staying at. I laid in bed, kind of miserable, but I never threw up again. It was really odd. And then that sore throat just hung on the rest of that time we were there. And we had to be at the air. So Saturday morning, the next, Saturday morning, I kept thinking, I wonder if I have strep.
You didn't go to urgent care while you were there.
Well, I've never really had strep. And there was one time that I had a sore throat like this. I remember it. I was working and I had a horrible swollen sore throat. And I remember going to my doctor and they're like, yeah, no, it's just a virus. I thought this is probably just a virus. So I just didn't realize, and I wasn't really running a fever. And so I just wanted to get home. And I thought, well, I'll go to the doctor when I get home if it's not better. And so we flew in and we had to be at the airport I'm tell you what, I'm going to be monitoring my husband's airline purchase times from now on out, because first of all, we flew out on a red eye. We are never doing that again. That is awful. I mean, and plus we have a 3-hour time loss. So I just didn't know where I was for 3 days. But then we flew out and our flight left at, I think 5. I don't know. We had to be there, 2.5 hours early. We had to be at the airport by 4 a.m. So here it is the night before, and we're trying to go to bed early. And I'm not a 9 o'clock bedtime person. Plus, my throat hurt, and so I was taking Advil, and I laid there in bed thinking, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to sleep because I gotta get up at 3:30. And we got to the airport, plenty of time, and we got on the airplane, and I feel so bad because
you're the person that got everybody sick.
I'm on the aisle and this lady is next to me and she's squished she was larger than me. So we were squished together and her husband was against the window. And I'm like, why don't you lean on your husband's shoulder? Don't, and I'm trying, and, I wasn't really coughing, but one time I swallowed my water wrong. And then I coughed and coughed and coughed and coughed and coughed. And I'm trying to get to my throat loss, just scrunching this plane. I feel terrible because the next day and as the flight went on, it's a 4-hour flight. I felt worse and worse. My head was just clogged up. My head hurt. My throat hurt. I thought, oh man, just get me home. And then we got home and our house is like 100 degrees because it's 89 degrees outside. And I hate being sick when it's hot outside. There's just something. So the next morning I said, Carrie, we got to go to urgent care because I got to start work on Monday and I don't want to try to go to the doctor. And I work from home so I can have strep throat and still work. So we went to urgent care and he's like, yeah, I don't think it's strep. He said, it doesn't look like strep. You don't even have strep symptoms. Strep symptoms are body aches and fever, and your throat looks a certain way. I had head congestion and no fever, which is not a strep thing. And he said, but I'm going to swab you because strep is really weird this year.
Yeah.
And he came back in. He said, well, you fooled me. You've got strep. And all I thought about was this poor lady on the plane next to me because she was
strep now.
They were visiting family here. And then her and her husband were going to go to Hawaii.
Oh, Mom.
But I was a little irritated with her because her and her husband
At
thought
least.
I didn't. I just didn't. Nobody was wearing masks on the plane.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. A couple of the stewards were, anyway, flight attendants. But anyway, I I was a little irritated though because her and her husband thought they could just get on the plane and take my seat. And
Mm.
we fly Alaska, and it's not Southwest. You don't. It's not a free for all. You pay for your seat, and I wanted an aisle. And I I think I talked about this
What did they
before.
think you were going to do?
Sit next to the window. She was
Oh,
going to get the aisle and her husband was going to get the middle and I was going to squeeze in the window. And I'm
but
like,
you chose the,
no. Huh?
they were sitting in your seat when you got on the plane?
Yes. And so see what happened was my husband and I usually sit together in the same aisle, right? But he always wants the aisle and I always have the middle. And I said, I'm tired of having the middle. So we
And
decided,
he
okay,
wouldn't bend? He wouldn't just take the middle?
no, because of his knee. I think he likes to be able to stretch his knee out. So I get it. I mean, my knees don't stiffen up like his do, but I decided that I would sit across the aisle from him. So on the way on the red eye, I sat across the aisle, which is fine. We don't talk on the plane anyway. It's so loud. Those little planes, you can't hear anybody. So we just, and plus we slept or dozed. So I was across the aisle and we had, both of us had empty seats in the middle of our row. So it was great. So coming home, when he went to change our ticket, because originally he had booked it for the middle in the aisle, he went to change it before we ever left the house, and there wasn't across the aisle available. And so I sat behind him. I said, I don't care. I'll sit behind you. I'm fine. I just need some space. I don't want to be squished. I could probably do the window on a 3-hour flight because I don't want to have to climb over people to go to the bathroom. But on a 4-hour flight, I made it to Indy without having to go to the bathroom. And I drank a lot at the airport. I don't know how I did that. I didn't even hardly, I mean, it wasn't even urgent, but coming home, about an hour away from home, I had to go. Those, I don't know when you flew out to Minnesota if you went to the bathroom on your plane, but if they could make
I know they're tiny.
those airline bathrooms any smaller,
I know.
might as well just put a little ant in there because it, and Dad went back there to go to the bathroom. I watched him go down the aisle to the back and he wasn't back and he was in there for a little bit. And then all of a sudden the seatbelt sign came on and we were like total turbulence. I'm like, is he trying to walk down that aisle in this turbulence? And he goes, yeah, I was actually in the bathroom when it started. And then he just kind of stayed in the back for a minute or two. And then he worked his way forward in the middle of that turbulence. So it was not a very fun flight, I would say. And there was a baby behind me. She was a toddler. And I mean, I try to have compassion for moms, but it irritates me. I don't mean to be, but it irritates me when people kick my seat. I didn't like it when you guys kicked my seat in the car, and I don't like it on the plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling good anyway, so I wasn't feeling
What one was kicking your seat?
the toddler behind me.
What was wrong with her mom? Like I would never let my I know occasionally maybe they're gonna bump it, but I'd be like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand people like not like it's hard to be on the plane. You already feel self-conscious. I didn't really fly. I only flew with little ones once. So it's not like something I had to deal with a ton, but it just feels like if you don't want people to be irritated that you have a small one on the plane, do everything that you can to make it not a terrible experience for everyone else on the plane.
Oh, and the other thing beforehand, when we got to the airport at like 4:30, we got to the airport and the only thing open by our gate was a coffee shop. So we stopped and got a coffee and a breakfast sandwich to eat because, they don't feed you on the plane anymore. You're paying for basically a seat that's this big and that's it. Oh, and a thing of pretzels. But there was a mom at our gate and, she was there as early as we were, and we were there pretty early. We were there probably a good 2 hours. She was single. She was flying alone with 2 little boys. The one little boy was maybe 3 or 4, and he was, kind of on a tablet playing. Her little 1-year-old cried and cried and cried the whole time we were waiting to board that plane. And I looked over one time and it was a sick cry. It wasn't like a tantrum cry. It was like he was really upset and I could just tell he didn't probably feel good because then I looked and she was trying to get him to take Tylenol.
Oh gosh.
I'm like, please don't be sitting by me because I already have something. I don't need another thing. I never heard him. He wasn't in our area. And again, it's a blessing that the planes are that loud because you don't really hear a whole lot. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I'm home, but I did not stitch at all during those 2 weeks. I knit a lot. And then I didn't really stitch much during last week either because I just felt so cruddy. I worked and then I just kind of vegged. I
Yeah.
knitted because that's my comfort. But I did cross stitch a little bit yesterday
I have
and Friday.
I've been gardening a lot, but in the
Yes.
evening, or when it's too hot, 'cause it's been really hot here too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you get in the 90s?
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yes, definitely. We were in the mid 90s.
Which is crazy for you too. That's usually not your May weather.
We usually don't get that till late June.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to cool off into the like 70s, 80s this week, which is my ideal. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Mid 70s, low 80s. I'm a happy
70s. I love 70s.
Yeah, that'll be nice. I can work in the yard. I can
Yeah.
forage.
Fine.
But you said you have a finish. Oh no, you have a previous finish.
Well, I had a previous finish first, and I've showed it before, but I just wanted to show something to go along with it. So I had stitches for my mom a long time ago in the 90s. This little, and she had it up all the time that she was alive that I gave it to her. But the funny thing was when I was going through my magazines, I found the magazine it actually came out of. And I'm just showing it because it was one of these, it was Leisure Arts. I don't even know, is Leisure Arts still in business?
I don't even know.
They were big craft. And they had these special editions called Celebrations that came out. And this one is dated 1992 spring. And I just thought, oh, I remember these magazines. But you'll appreciate this. Lindy Stitches would love this because here we go. You could stitch a spring chicken on your sweatshirt if you'd like.
Does that chicken have legs? Wait, it's a bear?
Yeah, it's a bear with a chicken suit on. Don't you want to wear that with your headband?
While I'm working out, I don't know what's happening in this picture. When I work out of any kind, I'm not wearing a hoodie or a sweatshirt.
No, well, she's got a headband on, but then there was that cute one that I did, and I never knew who did this pattern, and it was actually Susan Wingett, who does all kinds of artwork for calendars and stuff. I don't know if they still turn her stuff into cross stitch or not, but then there was this one. You would appreciate this spring portrait.
Interesting.
And then, I don't know. I just got a chuckle out of this magazine tonight. Be kind to animals week. You got a crowd of animals in some kind of a cage.
It's not a barn window.
Well, maybe it's a barn window.
I think that looks like a barn window, but why are they all crowding their head around that one window?
I don't know. And then if you didn't want to stitch that sweatshirt for yourself, there was something called Children's Sunday, Sunday School and Sunbeam. Or I don't know why I should have stitched one of these for my granddaughters at some point.
Sunday School Sunbeam.
Sunday School Sunbeam.
Oh, cute.
I bet your girls will be really jealous. I mean, very sad that I didn't.
Do you want to wear one of those?
The only thing that I really did like in here that I haven't stitched, this is called Berry Sampler, and it's actually pretty. Barbara Christopher did this one.
Oh, that is pretty, actually.
So let me see if I can get. Yeah, isn't that pretty?
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. So I'm keeping the magazine around just for that. But anyway, I just thought that would be a fun little trip down the 1990s memory lane, and I do have a finished object too. But want me to go with that first?
Yeah, go ahead and show you.
Or you do? Okay. I started this heartwarmer cowl in the winter, and I finished it.
Oh, it's so really pretty. I like the baubles a lot.
The only thing I did different was there was supposed to be 2 more repeats, and I got sick of doing them.
Yeah.
Broken rib.
They are kind of tedious, but they're so cute and effective.
They are, and they're towards the top, so I don't know. I blocked it all out. It's super soft, and I think it'll be really
nice,
cute in the winter time. So
I
like cowls. Anyway, so that is an accomplishment.
That is pretty.
Yeah, I felt pretty happy about getting that done and blocked and ready to go. Yeah. So what do you have that you finished?
I still need to block this one, but she wanted to wear it right away.
Oh,
I finished Rosie's sweater. I'll put pictures on the end of her wearing it. She's not in here right now.
yes.
Okay, so here, actually, let me button it so then you can kind of see it better.
So cute. That's
And I block it. I'm hoping that the what do you call the edging where you
got the rib,
yeah, the like rib
garter rib.
rib. It's not, yeah, it's a garder
Is
border
it rolling?
for the button band. That's the word I'm looking for. Button
Oh,
band.
the button
I
band.
mean, it will lay flatter after I block it because it kind of folds in a little bit, which that drives me nuts. But and
there's ways to do those. I should Google that again because that always bugs me too.
see how it kind of folds in. So
Yeah.
I think if I block it flat, I think
Yeah.
here. Okay, so here it is, buttoned up, so you can kind of see these buttons she picked out herself.
Oh, so cute.
Came unbuttoned a little bit. I only did 3. I just did 3 buttons down, and we decided
all they
to
need.
3/4 length sleeves, and I did a little pink border along the bottom.
Did you end up having to use a different color yarn?
Just for this, I did use this. Let me hold it closer.
Yeah, just the cream.
Other pink, and it has little blue flecks in it.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of yarn, except I think it is a little bit thinner weight or something. It didn't
look like
bulky. But yeah, so I did just to extend it, and I was worried I might have to change for the hood, but actually I was able to. I had plenty. I actually still have some left. So
great.
That's it from the back. She loves it. She is sad that it's so warm. She can't wear it as much right now, but I'm sure she will wear it a lot when the weather is cooler.
Oh yeah, and it does get cooler, so
it will, yeah. And it
is won't grow.
Really,
She won't grow that much.
Super soft and like squishy. I think it'll fare for a little while. I made it nice and long, so as long as it doesn't get too small in the underarm, it should be okay. Yeah. I also have 2 finishes from my cross stitch.
Woo!
They're not fully finished, but I finished my friend Patty O'Hare.
Oh, good job.
I don't have all the little embellishments attached because I'm going to make it into a stand-up thing to go with, this one that I've showed several times. I'm going to have to take her things off and stitch them on, I think, after I make the stand-up. Yeah. And they'll be able to stand up next to each other. And then I also finished Stitching by the Sea. Oh, this
yeah. One. Oh.
Brought home for me.
Are you going to make that into a little pillow?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little pillow, and I'd like to do some kind of trim around it, like maybe a chenille trim. The nice thing is there's so many colors in it that, and I can't remember who did this pattern. Do you remember? Is it something? It's like Jeanette Douglas. I think it's Jeanette Douglas.
Is it Jeanette Douglas?
I think it is. Can you turn that?
Oh, okay.
I think I'd have to double check, but it's called Stitching by the Sea. I kind of think it is.
Okay.
So anyways, those are my finishes. We do not have a featured friend this week, but we do have a child ready to share something. So, if you have never watched this before, often we like to show stitching from a friend who's sent in picture of either a whip or a finished object, whatever. And we love to feature that. Gives us inspiration and happiness, and we enjoy sharing that. So we don't have any in the queue right now. So if you are interested in sharing,
because it's first in, first out.
Huh?
First in, first out.
And I can share it, as soon as I get the next video.
So send us your goodies
at our email address, which is in the description box below. All right, Millie. First of all, look at this cute dress.
Very cute. Looks very summery.
Okay, what have you been working on?
My blanket and everything.
Oh, I bet you're just ready to curl up under that nice, warm, cozy blanket.
It's so fun to knit it when it's so hot out, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have it on your lap, and what's happening? Oh, here we go. It is getting really big. The front side or the back side? Doesn't
Not.
How many more balls of yarn do you have?
What? I don't know. A lot.
We have a few more. These were yarn that was given to us by a friend.
Right.
You can definitely tell where you started getting a little better at knitting.
Yeah.
You got like
places. I don't know what that is.
Oh my! What happened there?
There's a bunch of drum stitches and a weird loop.
I think this is the drop stitch right here, so I could probably help fix that and then anchor it in somehow. That looks like
that.
I don't know. There's a few spots.
And you
This-
can stick your
it's just for you to lay there and you can poke your finger and scratch your face. Suck your
lovely blanket. It's your lovely blanket.
It is heavy duty and really cute.
And I love it.
Yes.
Really nice.
It'll be really nice when you get that all done. It'll be very cozy.
That sort of
Is it chenille? It's chenille, isn't it?
like that chenille yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super soft. I see another hole down there.
I know.
There's a lot of holes.
There's a lot. Not so much up here though, where you've been working for a while. You're getting better.
Yeah. Like right here after the stripe is right.
Yeah, your
better.
knitting skills have improved. Oh, well, just kidding. There's a hole.
Oh.
But I don't think that's a hole. It just seems like the tension is a little different in some of the spots.
Yeah.
Like a drop stitch or a
Yeah.
yarn over, I think.
Good job, Millie. Good job. Way to hang in there.
It was like I knit like this and then I stopped for a long time. And then when I started knitting again when I couldn't sleep. So then
So that's when you're getting your knitting done.
like right here is where I had
So you've done this much since I told you you were allowed to knit if you couldn't sleep?
Yeah.
You also had a birthday and people were wishing you happy birthday in the comments of our last video.
Yeah. I gotta get your birthday presents ordered. Yeah.
Been a little while since your birthday, but
I know.
I was just making sure just briefly. So
Awesome.
there you go.
Very nice. Very cute.
Very cute.
Blankets are not my jam.
I have knit a couple small baby
You have?
blankets.
Oh.
Yes.
I've done one small baby blanket and it was a lace pattern. So this is kind of a pain.
Well,
No girls today.
other girls. Do you want to show
Okay.
what you've been working on other than your finish that you just showed, your scarf?
Well, my have been working on is very slim. I may have worked on this after our last Flosstube, but I may not have, but I'm going to show it anyway, just in case. Because I think it's about the only thing I would have been working on right before we left.
Yeah.
The week before we left, I was working like crazy to make up hours to get everything ready. And then I had my dad's big neurology appointment. So I didn't, but this is my spring Quaker. And if I had not shown it, this would have been what I was working on, but I think I showed it.
Pretty.
So in June, I get to pull out my summer Quaker because it will have been 3 months. I'm doing 3 months each on each of the seasonal Quakers. So I'll probably try to work on this maybe tonight a little bit. I'm supposed to do 8 hours a month, but I'm not going to make that this month. But what's today? I can maybe get 4 hours in if I do 2 this week and 2 next week. So there's that. And then I did, when we got home, I pulled out my Pine Mountain. This is really not a very great start, but my Pine Mountain yearly piece. This is clearly going to be a piece I'm working on next year. But I started my May.
Oh,
So
that's a cute one.
Bicycle and flowers and
Really cute.
gardening hand. Oh, that hand kind of creeps me out, but
Yeah, the hand's kind of weird. I'm not sure I would stitch the hand.
I might not. I might just put a flower in
Do
those
the
two.
little tools and a flower.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do.
The hand is weird. Disembodied hand.
I mean, one thing, it was like a different color and it was a glove, but it's not. It looks like it's
Yeah,
plastic.
glove. You could make it into a glove.
I could.
You could
Okay,
just
so
knit it into a glove, actually, that would be easy.
yeah, I could. So when I left on my trip, I had only done this much of, whoopsie. This much of April. It's bunnies on the bottom.
Yeah,
Second here. That's not.
right.
So then I had to count all the way over because the rest of April didn't get done. And then I did that border. And then that's the beginning of the flowers on the handlebar. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
For me.
Cute.
So I'm, the only month I really ever got done this year was January, February, March, April, May.
Progressively have gotten a little less done each month.
I was hoping nobody had noticed that, Sarah. Thanks for pointing that out to everybody.
Well,
Like, I'm a slacker. No, it was kind of a nice freedom to know that I didn't have, that if I was going to give myself permission,
No rush.
these stitches, yeah, not to have to rush. The other thing that I have been working a lot on, because I was knitting, is my shawl. And this one, so several years ago, Andrea Mowry, a designer, was really big into find your fade. And it was like a fade shawl that you did, like, I don't even know, it's like 26 colors or something like that. And they were supposed to fade in and out of each other. And it was a huge shawl. Like, I saw people blocking it down their hallways. And I'm like, I would never knit a shawl that big, number one, because I would lose interest. And number two, I would never wear a shawl that big. At only 5'2", I would be drowning in a shawl that big. But she's since then done some other fade kind of patterns. So this one's called Free Your Fade. So it's only 3 colors. And I had started this a long time ago. And when I picked it back up this spring, whoopsie, I had pretty much only done maybe from,
So pretty.
I should have left a marker in. I probably had gone like from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
So I've knit all of the rest of that dark pink, and then I faded in this kind of pink and yellow color.
That's pretty.
And so like here, this is her whole fade thing. So like
you say
here,
you're just using yarn that you had already?
yeah, I had picked these yarns out a long time ago for this. So like
project.
here you can see I did pink, 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 and then here you can see I've started to put the yellow in.
Oh yeah.
And they've gone all yellow. I have a couple more sections to go. I think 2 more eyelet rows and garter in between. Oh, my little cute kitty.
Cute.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. She's not showing up. Well, anyway, but then my third color that I'm going to fade in next is a brown.
Oh, that's going to be pretty.
So it'll be these 3 colors.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's an easy pattern to knit when I'm watching TV, because I've got the garter rows. You increase
right
at the end of the row, and you knit 2 together at the beginning of the row. So you're only increasing 1 stitch every 2 rows.
Yeah.
And then the eyelet row is like every 10 rows. I have to look at the eyelet row again. But anyway, I'm really, really loving it. And I think it'll be really, really pretty. And it's not too big. I like skinnier shawls. So, yeah.
Those colors are pretty together.
So that's what I've done the bulk of my time with. Because I feel knitting feels good to me again. I think for a while I didn't knit hardly at all. And what was weird is that I didn't knit at all during the whole COVID pandemic thing.
Right.
You would have thought I would have, but we were really getting into Flosstube, and really that was comforting too.
You're watching a lot of Flosstube because there's nothing else to do all day.
So I think it was really motivating, maybe, and really exciting and something new.
Yeah.
And felt like you were accomplishing something when life was not. I told Carrie, we were talking, and then I said, that was really something, wasn't it? He goes, that was really something. It's kind of a dim memory in a way. I mean, some of it is, some of it isn't, but
hard to imagine like going back to that.
I know. I go, gosh, Carrie, when we're really old, we'll be talking about how we lived through a pandemic.
Yeah. So weird. It's weird. So weird. Well, I've been knitting as well. So I finished Rosie's sweater, which was a big finish, because I think the last time I showed it, I was only on the first sleeve.
You were.
To finish I'd finish that sleeve, do the whole second sleeve and the hood, and then weave in the ends and stuff. Yeah. So I felt very proud of myself that I got that done, because it's been a goal for a long time. And then we haven't Flosstube since this time. So I think the week after we've maybe Flosstube last, Rosie and I went out of town for her little 10th birthday getaway with Mama.
Yeah.
And to Walla Walla, Washington, which is a really cute little winery town. And I would love to go back there again.
College town and a prison town.
And there's a prison there, I guess. Hung out in the downtown area where it's all wine tasting and little shops and bookstore and toy store. And there's a yarn store. So I went into the yarn store, and I forget what it's called. I'd have to look it up. Well, I'll put the link to it in the description box. The the store largely has yarns dyed by the owners, which is why I'm trying to remember what it's called, but I can't remember. But I actually went for a Malabrigo because I love Malabrigo.
Yes.
And I knew I was going to want a cowl, and I wanted something that was navy blue because I love navy blue. It looks really good on me, and I love this gold color, and I knew I had some gold. So I decided once I got it, I bought a yarn, a Malabrigo yarn, and I'm knitting this. It's called the Adama cowl, I think.
Oh, I remember that pattern.
The Hillary Smith callus, and I have knit it once before with another Malabrigo that was also like variegated tones of gray. But it went through the wash and shrunk and kind of felted. I still wear it. It's still really cute and comfy, but the definition of the stitches is kind of gone.
Yeah.
So I've wanted to do another one for a long time. So I decided this blue is the Malabrigo. I can't remember I don't think it's in this other bag. I can't remember the colorway now, but I will. See if I've got it in here. It's easily accessible. Okay, the name of the shop. No, this is not from the yarn store. I can find it. So I got Malabrigo Rios. So it's a worsted weight, and the color is Tranquilo. And it is a really nice blue tone. Show it again. And I had this gold, just as a yarn from Hobby Lobby that I knit a sweater for Millie out of. And I love it. I wear this color all the time, as you can tell. So I decided to put some pops of color in. So this is how far I've gotten in the last really a few days since I finished her sweater.
Do you have to see that? It's not in the round?
You eventually join it in the round, but it has kind of a scooped back.
Yes.
So that it doesn't bunch up around your hair, but it has that bulk in the front.
Yes.
So I'm basically knitting the front. That's backwards, but then the front goes like this, and then the back, it'll kind of scoop up.
Gotcha. Pretty.
I also have this other yarn from Hobby Lobby that's kind of cute and would kind of go with it. So I'm toying with throwing in a little more color, but I think I might just keep it the gold. I really like the colors I have right there. And
Yeah.
when I get too busy, I want it to be a little more.
Yeah.
But I do love this yarn, and I'm constantly thinking about what to do with it. So that's what I was working on for knitting. I've been knitting kind of like in the car, cross stitching. I just don't have a lot of really good portable projects right now.
Yeah.
And so I've been grabbing my knitting on the go a little bit. But I did make a magazine monthly challenge. I have no idea if I'm going to hit all the goals. Here's my little thing. And you can see I've checked off 3. We're getting close to the end of the month.
You got a week and a half. You can do it. You can do it.
I can do it, but I haven't even worked on a couple main things like the theme piece. Theme is Arctic, and it's Snow Queen was my theme piece, and it hasn't spun. It hasn't been called on my little spinner that tells me what I'm going to stitch each day. So I put them all
taken off the ones that you've already finished.
Oh. So it will pop up here soon.
How many hours are you supposed to work on it?
4 hours for Snow Queen. And that's a Whipco piece from last month that is not done. So I really want to do that.
Okay.
I didn't even get called yet to start. And I thought about just starting it, but I just haven't had time. I really have been in the garden a lot. Where is it? Here. No, I grabbed it. Oh, this is it. I haven't even started my monthly piece yet, which is going to be this.
Oh, it's so cute.
But I don't have the June one yet. So I'm kind of thinking I might overlap this with June and then get the June one and start it next June.
Oh, I thought you had all of them.
I'm missing just like 2 or 3. So I haven't gotten to start that yet, but I'm going to put it on this blue.
Oh, that'd be pretty.
I'm going to cut the robin down. I started fabric to do 2 on there.
How far did you get on the robin?
Oh, the robin was from March, so I haven't worked on it.
Oh, okay, that wasn't your.
I will show but the bunny one, that was March.
Okay.
Bunny one, I did not. I feel like I've also progressively gotten less and less done on my monthly pieces, so don't feel bad about that.
I won't point it out.
You can point it out, it's true. So what's the fabric? My April piece, and I did work on this after we finished. I'm not sure I got everything I worked on. between our last, but I have a ton of stuff to show anyways.
Mhm.
So that basket full of love was my April one.
Oh, yeah.
And I worked pretty hard on it. I just didn't seem to get very far. I mean, it's not a shabby start or anything,
No, I mean,
but there's just a lot to do still. It's a really
yeah,
good, a lot.
there's a lot to do still. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are going to get ready for bed here in a few minutes. Earlier than it is. We got the new Zelda game for Daddy for his birthday for the Nintendo Switch. And he has been playing for a very long time and he had no idea it was almost 9 o'clock. Now he's going to probably be irritated that I'm not available to do bedtime.
He's not.
They can do bedtime.
This was not on my Magazine Monthly piece this month, but I did start it. I don't think I've showed it, but this was from the box that you gave me. I think
So cute.
from what's it called? Historical Sampler Company.
Cotton and Twine. They have two names.
Cotton and Twine.
Yeah.
Boxes. Cotton and
Yeah.
Twine subscription boxes. And I love this. And you gave me all the little parts for it. So this is how far I got.
Just a second. Hold on a second.
Well, I can still show it.
Hold on. Okay. I just realized I had that to show in my haul. A new box. Oh, so cute.
Vegetable chicken mostly done. I have to do the wing and the feet and the beak.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute.
It is a cute little piece.
I loved it working on that. So I did that in April. I haven't worked on it at all this month. Let's see. I'm just grabbing stuff to show as I go.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on Alpaca Farm, which is one of my Magazine Monthly goals. I cannot come down right now in Flosstube. What did you say? Dad wants me to long? I don't know. Half hour? I'm sorry. Getting a lot of interruptions today. Alpaca Farm, I still have 2 hours and 15 minutes to do out of my 3-hour plan. So I have a lot to do. If I'm going to meet my goals, I might just say, I'll just give it what I can do. And I'm just maybe over ambitious.
Not every month is a winner.
So I did some flowers and grass. Sorry,
Cute.
here, hold it a little better. There we go. Just
So cute.
steadily working on that. I know it is so cute. That one's kind of hard to count. I don't know if I like where I'm stitching at on that one.
Oh.
Little. Okay. My Spring of Hawk Run Hollow is one of my Whitbo pieces. And I also put it on my Magazine Monthly board. I'm going to take it off the frame here. So you can see the whole piece. So I've been working on that brick border.
Yes.
And everything. It's
Cute though.
I don't think I realized what I was getting into when I started this piece. It's so pretty though. I didn't show the picture, did I? Sorry.
It is pretty though. And they're not all that bad. Some are worse.
I looked at the picture. I think this one is going to be maybe the worst of all of the hardest of all of them to do. Because of that brick border. Man, it is. I know I say it every time I pull it out, but it is so tedious. You do
it's not uniform.
And yeah, it's not uniform. And you do like 6 stitches and it could be like another 40 stitches until you use that color again. So I'm constantly trying to decide like, okay, should I count down and park it or should I cut it? And so that's why I've got all these hanging off because I like parking it or just leaving it. But it's so cute. I decided to make it easy on myself and just work on the brown border and the white border, and then I'll just be able to go from there.
Yeah.
A little bit easier. I still love them. Those eggs are so pretty in there.
Super cute. Super pretty.
Oh, yes. So pretty. I have nothing to do on this one. I've met that goal for this one. And I've met the goal. I think I had 3 hours I was doing for my rest and be thankful from the Cricut collection.
Oh, yeah.
And I've gotten into the house.
Oh, wow. Yes.
I have the whole, the whole top border done. And I
Uh-huh. That
window,
roof is done.
the roof is done. And are the colors coming through? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a few hours of stitching.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like that much, but I think I've just been kind of slow.
Oh, it does to me because I know what it's like to stitch a house.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else. Okay, sorry, kind of crap here on. I'm not putting them away because I'm kind of trying to hurry a little bit. This is a piece that Rosie gave me. She bought it. Well, Jessie bought it for me for my birthday, and I think I've met my goal on this as of today, which was like 4 hours, and this was my whip go piece, one of my whip go pieces this month.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful, actually.
It is really pretty. It is also a kind of a tedious bear to stitch because look at all those color changes. There's like a split. What's it called when you have two threads?
Blend.
A blend. Yeah, a blend
Yep.
in there. But I decided to take this kind of one square at a time and park. And I think since I decided to do that, I decided I need to make a working copy so I can really mark up where I've
Right.
like a highlighter or something.
How that cardinal dimensions kit is for me. There's a ton of color changes.
Yes, I bet it's very similar. It's
Mhm.
pretty, and she gets excited when I work on it, and it was fun.
Mhm.
Progress.
It's really pretty. It is really pretty.
I know. Yeah. But I have a lot. I'm right here.
Yeah.
So this is one of I put it on my whip go board because it's such a big piece.
Yeah.
I decided I wanted to see some progress on it, even if it's just somewhat small progress, still progress. All right, I'm still going. This is what happens when we have a lot of time in between. I've been working on my what is this? What's this called? Rosewood Manor. And my goal for this was 3 hours, and I believe I have 20 minutes left. So I'm very close to finishing my goal.
Pretty. Oh, wow. Look at that, Sarah. It's beautiful.
Tree is huge because there's another one of these and one out here and one out here and then a whole bunch of them. It's so pretty. I love this.
It's really pretty. Yeah, her colors are really
not showing very well, I don't feel like, but they're so pretty. So
yeah, very, very, very
pretty. Like on an even weave, and it's really nice and smooth looking. It just looks very tidy. But I think I will meet this goal for sure before the end of the month because there's no way I can't get 20 minutes more on that. Okay, we have two more. We can make it through two more. My farmer's market from Told in a Garden. Where is the photo for this? Here it is. This little photo. And I got this at Shepherd's Bush when we were there because Jessie really liked it for some reason, and I like it too. I'm doing it on this linen, so it's kind of really rustic looking.
Getting there.
Here, I feel like on this. So I worked on these quilts, but I realized I was missing a color, so I need to. I think there's a red or something.
Super pretty.
Several more quilts to go.
But I don't
really mind stitching those because the pattern's repetitive and really cute. Last thing is what I was working on today after I finished my chicken dimensions goal is my Hade, and I will work on this more tonight because this is what came up for today. Tiny Traveler from Annie Stagg, who does all kinds of sort of fantastical, magical paintings. Let me get all my threads out of the way.
There you go.
Did all this, and I think I just did this up here. But I will easily finish another square tonight, and that square and another square tonight.
Right.
That's everything I worked on. It was a lot of different things.
A lot of different things and a lot of stuff. A lot of progress on some of them too.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. So yeah, that's everything that I have been working on.
Well,
Phew.
you did better than me, kid. You did better than me.
I didn't have a travel in the middle of everything.
I know. At one point, I was going to take my little portable stitch light with me in my suitcase. But the night before we were leaving, or the afternoon that we were leaving that night, we packed up and then we put our suitcases on the scale here at home, and my suitcase was over.
Oh.
And which was okay. My bathroom bag is pretty heavy. It's like 3 pounds by the time so Dad's suitcase had way more room. So I just adjusted a couple things. I also am in charge of packing the bag with all of the medicine that I take. Of course, I mean, our generic medicine, if I always take cold medicines along, Band-Aids, that kind of stuff. Did I take any actual medicine that we needed along? No, I didn't even bring COVID tests along. I have a cupboard full of COVID tests, and I did not pack one thing that we needed. We had to go to the drugstore. But in the interest of being paranoid about my bag being over 50 pounds, I took that cross stitch light out, and I thought, realistically, am I really going to have time to cross stitch? And at Sam and Ashley's apartment, they don't really have an end table to put a lamp on. I could sit at the dining room table, but
right.
And then as it was, we were a few nights at a hotel, and I could have cross stitched then, but that was when I was feeling sick with the first cold. So I probably just was happy to just sit and knit and watch TV. So it actually worked out okay. That I didn't have my stitching, but life. I feel like we're on a ride right now, and my stitching might be a little hit and miss for a while. Just we're still getting my dad ready to move down here the second week of June. So there's just a lot.
Yeah.
Work is super busy since I came back. So yeah, I'll still plug along, but I might not have any big finishes because I have most of my big pieces are out.
Yeah.
But I told Sarah earlier, I bought Emily Call.
Yeah.
I bought her new summer pattern. It just says summer, and it's along the same lines as the other ones of hers that I've done that are seasonal. So I thought I need a new small project, but she uses cotton and color. She does give DMC conversion, but I want the color and cotton, and I've never used them. So I need to order them.
The thread came out of one of these when I was showing it, and I don't know which one. So I'll put it in my little jar of threads and find it when I need it, I guess, and remember that's where it was.
I hate when that happens.
Me too.
Because it's a pretty neutral color.
I thought it was Hawk Run Hollow, but that's not on this. It's not on there. Well, I'll have to just put it.
What else would you have had that had that gray in it?
I don't know. I've looked back through all my things to see if that's the color, all the ones that I would immediately think might be.
Yeah.
So I'll put it somewhere and find it.
Yeah.
Did you have any haul this month?
I do have haul. I have haul. The first haul I had was waiting for me when I got home in my little box. Well, my friend who house sat for us brought it in. It's my Cotton and Twine Historical Sampler Company's April box came.
Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
That's pretty.
And again, these are super. Darn it. What did I just drop? Oh. I don't know what fell out of here. I think I know what it was. No? Well, it has a hoop.
Is it color 453?
No, these are the colors that come for it.
Ooh, pretty.
I think it was the hoop that they send you. Oh, there it is. They send you the hoop and everything. And then they always send a little thing of candy, but I had to really be careful with the candy because it's sugar-free candy, and sucralose in sugar-free candy does not like my stomach. So I only ate a couple. And then this little cute foldable little shopping bag that you can unfold.
Cute.
Anyway, that was kind of a fun little thing to come home to. And then I did do a little tiny bit of retail vacation buying, but I pretty much reined it in this time around. Because my husband's retired now, guys. My husband is retired.
Yep.
So all that retirement yarn back there. It's finally going to get used. So the first this the only haul I have? I guess it is. Okay, so in the one little town where Sam and Ashley used to live in Zionsville, there's the Persnickety Stitchers cross stitch store. So I went in there and I bought this in their sale bin. It was like super cheap. It's a homespun elegance. It's like little scissors. I'm not going to take it out of the package because it's sealed.
That's cute. I like
Right.
Homespun Elegance. I think her stuff is really
Yeah. And then I bought, although I think I might already have this. It's a drum. I might not though, because I just bought my first what I thought drum pattern was, but it's Plum Street, my garden house. Let me take it out. It's so pretty. Actually, I think I just thought about buying this before. I don't think I've actually bought it.
remember you showing me having bought that. Oh, that is cute.
Isn't that pretty?
Pretty.
So I did buy that. And then there is another company called October House, which I've never heard of before. They had a lot of different designers in her shop that I had not ever seen before. This one is called Vintage Tree.
Oh, that's cute too. That kind of makes me think of some of your Barbara Bergeau.
Yeah, it does a little bit. I'm trying to get it to, there we go.
That's cute.
Pretty simple, but that was kind of pretty. And then the last thing I bought from them. So see, I didn't buy any threads or I didn't buy any gloss or anything. I just bought patterns. So I tried to find some things that like that homespun elegance. I don't have a lot of theirs and I had never seen this before. And then this one also, Needle Bling Designs. I've heard of them, but I don't think I have anything by them. And I love this. It says, gather up your blessings.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, look, it's another animal with a long, variegated looking tail. You like those kind of patterns.
Party pants. I'm really drawn to them. I hate stitching them, but I really like them.
Oh. Funny.
Anyway, on to the next store. There's a yarn store called, I think it's called Village Yarn Store. It's in Zionsville, like I said, and it is Village Yarn Company. They went in there last year when we were there visiting, and it was kind of a new owner. Like she had just bought it, I think, right as COVID was happening. Yeah. And I was so happy to see that she's still in business. So I went in there. I bought these two skeins, and they are Madeline Tosh.
Pretty.
And there is a little bit of greenish flecks in this, but they're not showing up. Yeah. But I hope to do these two in a shawl together.
Be pretty.
I like 2-color shawls. And then because of circumstances that happened, I needed a little more retail therapy. So we were back in town and I bought this from them. It's an Addie sock and it is called Butterfly Bush.
Oh, that's pretty too.
They're both fingering. All three of these are fingering weight. So I don't know what I'll do with these.
Let me tell you how nice it is to work with worsted after doing a sweater in fingering weight.
There is a pattern, a yarn, a knitted pattern called the Hitchhiker. It's a shawl called the Hitchhiker. And it's knit on the bias, so your rows never get huge. It's kind of a skinnier shawl, and it's got a sawtooth edge, and I loved knitting that before. I think I've knit 2. I don't think I have one of them anymore. I think I gave one of them to you, maybe. Yeah. But I'm thinking about, it just takes 1 skein of fingering. I'm thinking about maybe doing another one in this color. Clearly, I was into the pinks. And I think I think that is all my haul. I was very reserved. I was very good.
I only have haul that you sent me. I forgot to show it on our last video, and then
yeah. What did I send you? I don't even remember.
Well, you passed on this.
Oh yeah.
It's just so hard to read, and then the start that you had made.
Have you looked at that pattern, by the way?
I have not really pulled it out to look at it, but it does look a little challenging to read.
My little old eyes cannot do those.
Yeah, I would have to like probably mark it with a highlighter as I
Yeah,
would.
I think I have a couple more of those faces patterns that are the same way that I probably will pass on to you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think they're in my stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me this.
Oh yeah. Because nobody entered that giveaway. So I thought, well, then I'm going to send it to Sarah.
And I loved it so much. So
Mm-hmm.
I am so happy about it. I need to start these.
There.
They look really cute, like all somewhere with all of Liddy's little bee ones that she's done. So I have,
Well, and you stitched that cute bee one for me last spring. So
oh yeah, that's right.
the K, I think, did it have my initial on it? K.
Yes.
Yeah.
I changed it to K instead of B.
In my stuff that I packed at my dad's house yesterday, by the way, I packed up some stuff in my mom's kitchen, and I have some stuff for Sarah, but I have a couple of things of instant coffee to give you for any tea dyeing needs that you might have.
Perfect.
There were like 3 things of instant coffee. My dad does not drink any coffee, let alone instant coffee. So I don't know how old that coffee is,
For dyeing.
but yeah.
What are you planning for this week?
I'm planning to figure out my plan.
It's about June. That's all you're doing.
I do need to look at June, but no, I'm gonna try to stitch on my whip go for May was gathering eggs and hoity-toity. And I have such a low challenge. It's 2 hours each, so I'm hoping to do those for sure. And I might work on the Quakers again, and maybe get. I'm looking at a calendar over here. Maybe I could get,
10 days left.
yeah, I could maybe get 4. I was supposed to do 4. I was supposed to do 8 hours this month, but I can maybe get 4 in. And then I don't know what else. I'm really, really toying with wanting to start this, and then I could pass it on to you.
Oh, is it oh yeah. Oh, love that. I could just
So I have it all kitted up. So, I kind of feel like starting some things. I don't need to start anything new. And then the other thing I want to work on, because every time you show your Rosewood Manor trees, as I want to work on my seasons of trees.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of trees.
It's a lot of trees.
I have 2 done.
Great deal of trees. But
I kind of want to work on that a little bit. And yeah, who knows what else there? Who knows? Also this will make you laugh. This one. I was texting with Aunt Nancy last night, and I said, "What are you stitching these days?" And she sent me a picture of this, and she goes, "That house and that roof are no joke. I've made a ton of mistakes, and I'm just fudging it." So I said, "Nobody will ever know,
that
Nancy."
works just fine.
Yeah. So that's about. I mean, those are kind of the biggies. I also had started this, remember, before vacation.
Yes, I do.
And I kind of want to work on that too. It was really fun to work on. It's so pretty.
That is so pretty.
And ideally, I should work on my May square for my Pine Mountain.
Yeah.
I'm kind of afraid that I'm not going to want to work on that next winter or next year. Because I told Sarah before we started recording, I really want to work on these seasonal Jardine Privé.
Maybe you should try and finish your Quakers and then do those instead of your Quakers.
Oh, sure. I'll just finish those next
Get those Quakers just finished.
No, I think if I keep working on those like I am and just make steady progress, I don't feel the urge to finish that. And I don't think I would necessarily feel the urge that I would have to finish this each season either. Like I could see, I don't know. I'll work on them. I won't do another monthly piece, but I do kind of want to do a seasonal piece along with the Rosewoods. Yeah. What's your plan?
Okay. Well, I have a lot of hours on here and I'm staring at my timer app this is how I keep track.
Oh.
So here's my goals for the next 10 days, but I think I'm going to scrap. I think I'll just do what I can do.
Yeah.
I have 3 hours to work on my monthly piece that I haven't even started. 20 minutes on music amongst the trees. Definitely will finish that. 3.5 hours on my Hade. I'll probably get an hour and a half done tonight. Well, it's 9:30. We'll see. 4 hours on my Snow Queen, an hour and a half on my farmer's market, and 2 hours about on my alpaca farm. I'm not going to get all that done this month, but I'll just keep spinning and just work on whatever.
Whatever comes up. Yeah.
That's what my hope is. And I'll just keep knitting probably.
There's no police. There's no police.
I know. I don't really care if I finish it all. It's just
I
kind
know,
of
but there is a
fun
sense
to
of
get all
accomplishment.
that checked off. But
Yeah.
I know like spring and early summer is super busy as we finish up school and we have lots of extra activities and ballet recital and
Yep. Gardening
and yard work, and I'm just on
Yeah.
a different track, different
And the
mode
last push of school. Yeah, for sure.
of school. We have 3 more. Let's see, 1, 2. We have 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks of school, and then we're done.
You're taking the whole summer off?
Yes.
You're not doing that summer school thing
No,
again, like you tried to do last year.
I didn't do it last year. I thought I was going to do it, and then I didn't do it, and I won't do that again.
No,
We will probably do a little bit of like light math. Like
that's fine.
we usually do a little bit of math and a little bit of read. You know, I still do read alouds at lunch.
Yeah.
We still do a lot of the same rhythms, but there won't be.
Yeah, the pressure.
Let's see. We had
A
a
giveaway.
giveaway winner from last time.
And it was, and you guys, I'm just apologizing right now. I have not sent anything out pre my husband's surgery in February. So I'm hoping between now and next Saturday, I can get those done. But we gave away Chubby Bunny by Jeanette Douglas, and it is super cute.
It is so cute. And the winner for that, I lost my page. Hang on. Is Norma Hansen. So congratulations, Norma. I think we have your address already, I would imagine.
So
Yeah.
we do.
So we will try and tuck that in the mail. And I was giving away the birdhouse needle roll. And the winner for that last time I announced was Arlene Curry, but I haven't heard from you, Arlene. So if you're watching this, email us at the email address down below in the description box at stitchandstuffxs@gmail.com with your mailing address so that I can send that in the mail. If I don't hear from you, we'll either reoffer it again or because I think that there were several entries on that one.
We could, we don't hear from her within a week.
Yeah.
By next week, I think we should read.
Are we thinking, we haven't talked about this again, but we're thinking about going to recording every other week. Is that still?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, we kind of did.
So we'll see, but that's kind of, if you don't see us every week, we might be having to back off just with this busy season.
That's what I had talked to Sarah while I was on vacation, and she's, I'm busy and she's even busier because she's got 3 kids, but we thought about maybe going to one every other week, and then we would have a little more to show and less pressure on us to always have a ton of stuff to show every week because life. And a lot of Flosstubers.
A little mental space to do another quarterly Zoom meetup or something when we're not, if we don't, because we haven't done that for a little while.
Yeah.
Did we do one in the winter?
We did one in the spring. Did we do one around Valentine's Day?
Did we do one? Oh, so maybe it hasn't been that long.
We did do one.
Okay. I guess we have still done it.
Yeah. But I think we should record next week.
Yeah.
Because it's our 3-year anniversary.
Oh yeah, that's right. We should record next week.
So you can probably expect, unless something weird happens, expect to see us again next week. Otherwise, yeah.
That's true. And we might try to have a special giveaway or something.
Yeah, we usually try to do
our first video, May, what did we say? 24th?
23rd.
23rd, 2020. So this week is our 3-year anniversary. And we've done 100. This is our 136th video. I'm proud of us.
Doesn't that just feel like such a long time ago in one way, but then not in another way?
I was sitting right here next to me with my computer. I worked on my lighting. I think things are a little better now, but I know it feels so weird.
I was sitting in that chair there.
How did you have your computer?
On books.
Laptop?
I had my laptop. I had my laptop.
I see.
And I had it on books on Dad's desk chair.
Mine is on a little lap desk, and I now have a ring light that I got for Christmas that attaches to my laptop. So I've moved up in the world of
No, we're so high tech.
So
Yeah. Please don't go back and watch that first one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, do it. Why not?
Well, we're probably not that much better now than we were then.
I know. I'm not sure we're really any
My
different.
hair looks horrible in it. Horrible. It was COVID hair.
It was COVID hair. We all had COVID hair.
I think my husband had cut it a second time, and the first time was great. The second time, not so great. Oh, that was. Huh?
We do have a giveaway for this week. So I have a pile of magazines, cross-stitch magazines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We'll just do the word magazine. If you're interested in a bundle, it's from all different years, so they're not all super outdated. Some of them are old and funny, but some have some gems in them still, and some of them are a little more recent.
Like the one I showed.
Yeah, like
that cute berry one in there.
One tucked in there. So if you're interested in just a grab bag of magazines, it might be great. If you're a magazine monthly stitcher, maybe you'll get some mileage out of that. Leave the word magazine in the comments below, and it'll be fun to send off.
Great idea.
What are you reading? Anything?
I'm still reading that Girl's Guide to Catching a Rich Earl.
Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting? Is that what you mean? Oh, I love
I'm about 50%, over 50% through it.
And
it does make me laugh. It is funny.
I wish I was reading it again for the first time.
She's so funny and such a manipulator. And I mean, I kind of feel like, okay, I think I know who she's going to end up with, but
well, yeah, I mean, you kind of start to feel like, I see where this is probably
against his better judgment. Yeah.
How are they going to end up?
Yeah. How's it going to happen? But yeah, it's really interesting though, that whole high society and the ton. I've never heard that term before, the ton.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't? Oh, well, you didn't watch Bridgerton. Which I don't really recommend for risque reasons, but
yeah, I've read other stuff
for that like region where everybody kind of is.
That high society.
She has a new book coming out, I think this summer, and I think it's a lady's guide to scandal or something like that. And I don't know if it's the same characters or all different, and I definitely will be wanting to read that. I really enjoyed that.
Well, and between her and her sister, who's such a little twit.
Well, her sister makes me laugh. So you'll have to tell me what you think of her sister after you read it. I really, really loved.
She's getting a little more playtime right now because they're actually going to the balls.
Right.
She's trying to. She keeps that Lord Montagu. She keeps kind of trapping him into conversations.
A sister?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Cece.
Yeah. You'll just have to think about that all day. That's fun.
Anyway, it is, if you want a fun, and there's nothing risque about it or anything. It's just
I
fun.
didn't feel like there was anything really inappropriate in it.
No, she's just a girl that's trying to provide for her sisters because they're orphans and they don't want to go into service, because that's what was left for women like them.
Because their house is in debt, and so she needs to find a rich husband, basically, for like logistical life reasons to provide for her family, and that was the only.
Was her dad from nobility? Was her dad from a rich family?
Yeah.
But her mom was not.
Yes.
So she's.
Right. So they were kind of like cast out.
Right. So she's trying to pass herself off as part of this, not nobility, but this
upper
group.
Class.
Yeah. And these women in this group are shrewd, man.
Yeah.
And if you do one little thing wrong, you are out. They know who's.
They know the manners. They know they're watching. They don't know. They don't want their sons connected to somebody that's not who they think they were.
No gold diggers allowed.
It's fun.
She's been pretty creative in manipulating the situation, though.
Yeah. She's a really great character.
Yeah. So anyway, what are you reading?
I'm still reading David Copperfield. I'll be reading that till I die.
Of course. 5 million pages.
I'm probably at least a third of the way through now. And I think I showed this before I was reading that. I'm getting towards the end. It took me a while to get, I don't know. everybody in my family like loves it. And I do think there's kind of, they've hinted that there's kind of a twist at the end, but it's wintertime at Green Glass House. The creaky Smuggler's Inn is always quiet during this season, and 12-year-old Milo, the innkeeper's adopted son, plans to spend his holidays relaxing. But on the first icy night of vacation, out of nowhere, the guest bell rings, then rings again and again. Anyways, it's kind of this really interesting world. It's like a funny blend of reality and a little bit of fantasy. It's fun.
Okay.
It's like a different kind of world than I know what to do with.
Yeah. Okay.
I am enjoying it. It took me a little while to get into it.
Have you read anything by Sarah Addison? Sarah Addison Allen? She's same kind of thing. It's like real world, but there's a little magical element that runs through. That's yeah. You're kind of like, okay, wait a minute. Is this real or is this like
yeah. This one you just accepted that it's real, but it's from a kid's perspective. It's cute. It's good. I can see why Millie likes it a lot. There's all kind of adventures. I listened to one of my favorite books, The Enchanted April, again.
That's on my list to look for after I finish.
So I did that this month, and then I've been reading. I don't know. Have you ever read any of the Jeeves and Wooster books? They are so funny.
I think I did long time ago, like when you were still in high school, maybe.
So I'm reading one that's actually not in this book. I had gotten this book out to see if the one I wanted was in it, and it's not. I'm reading one called The Code of the Woosters. And it had me literally laughing out loud this morning when I was reading. When I woke up, I just was reading and I was just dying. And then I got so Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry did a BBC show of the books. You know, a lot of them are the same plot put into, and they are hilarious together. And I was able to get those DVDs from the library, so I've been watching those too. So
hey, I want to show you something on this piece that I did for my mom.
Are there French knots?
There are French knots, and they're
good.
They're good.
Why don't you show it from the side so I can see whether they like stand up or not? Oh yeah. Well, that one on that watermelon is a little pokey.
Oh, yeah, the watermelon's not great, but look at the bunny eye.
Doorknob looks good. The
moon's eye.
Are the moon's eyes French knots?
The moon is French knots.
Good.
I know. I just wanted you to know that I did eventually learn to pull those
more skill at those.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't think I'm not really reading anything else. Oh, I was going to tell you. So my son, our youngest son, Sarah's baby brother, Sam, we sold my car to him because we went down to one car. Pray for me. Anyway, so he flew out here, and because of circumstances, his wife could not come with him. And so he had to fly out here alone and drive it back. So he's been on the road since like 7 a.m. Friday morning, and done to Indiana in 3 days, which is 12 plus hours a day. So my big paranoia was he was going to fall asleep or whatever, because this kid falls asleep. If he's a passenger in a car, he falls asleep in the first 2 minutes that you're on the road. Like he's just out. So anyway, my husband and my other son said, you should listen to a book on tape or a book, audiobook. And he's like, yeah, those sometimes put me to sleep. And so they said, no, maybe not while you're driving, because it kind of keeps you engaged. And so there's I don't remember which, I think it's it's either the Sanderson series that my husband has listened to, or it's Robert Jordan. I'm not sure which. It's a fantasy epic. They're like epic books, and there's epic numbers of them. He's been listening to that, and he said, oh my gosh, this has been really fun. And he calls my husband every so often to discuss the book with him. But he's been on the road. Okay, guys, it's like 12, like 24 plus another 10, like 34 hours he's been on the road. He said he got home, he's like, I still have 20 more hours to go in this book.
They're so long. That's probably a Robert Jordan. Well,
yeah. And so your dad said, yeah, when I listened to those when I was delivering mail, they usually took me 3 to 4 weeks, in it off and on while I was working. So anyway, that just made me laugh, because I haven't read any of those books, but I've seen them. They're like this, they're big. Anyway, I was glad that was something that could keep him engaged.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
audiobooks is the way to go. I haven't
Yeah.
don't really have any audiobooks going right now since I finished The Enchanted April, but
Right.
well, I
Well,
did
yeah.
start another one by her, that same Elizabeth von Arnim. I can't remember what it's called, but I haven't really had time in the car alone to listen to books.
Right. And Dad and I did listen to the most recent last year, Jacqueline Winsby or Maisie Dobbs in the car on our road trip, and that was fun. I'm not normally an audiobook person either, but in the car I definitely could be, because it was kind of fun to listen to together. And
I feel so bored when I'm driving that audiobooks and podcasts keep my brain, because I'm not just driving 5 to 10 minutes to the grocery store. My drives are like 30
Right.
to 40 minutes every time I go anywhere because we're out in the
Right.
country. So it's nice to have something that I know I'm just going to turn right on and listen to that keeps like my brain interested in life, because otherwise I'm like, oh, I'm in the car again.
On this highway again. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Thanks.
well,
That's about all I got. You probably have to go put your girls to bed.
9:40. I'm hoping they're already in bed or at least on their way, but I should probably go make sure. So we've
Yeah.
missed you. Thanks for watching, and we hope you've been safe and have had lots of time to stitch.
Yeah. Send us your featured friends so we can see what everybody's been doing for the last month.
Yes,
Feels
And-
longer than a month.
does feel like a long time.
Mhm.
And
And
leave
we
the
will
word
be back.
magazine if you want a grab bag.
Yeah.
Want to be entered in a grab bag for a lot of cute magazines. Yeah, we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your comments and your kind words, and we'll be back soon. Much sooner this time.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. Happy stitching.
Happy